doesn't play well in these moments? Do you want to push back? Do you want to be the contrarian? Do you want to give me some silly context?
I would love to in the sense of having no A.J. Brown.
They had them. Yes, they had them.
But no, man, I can't do it. Maybe it's closer than we would normally think, but I still think Philadelphia wins tonight.
3-10 on Monday Night Football in his career. That's a lot of Monday Night Football games. 3-10, my man.
If your pass was flipped, they stopped you and frisked you.
That is not very good.
Doesn't matter. I just walked past you.
Like you're aware
Now,
of me.
he did win his last one last year against San Francisco. And he has won 3 of his last 4. So if you want to put like a little context in there, he's figured it. He figured it out. In fairness, 2 of those games were against the Bears. That doesn't count. So think about that. This guy is 3-10 on Monday Night Football, but if you exclude the Chicago Bears, who, as we know, are a disaster. You're not allowed to talk about this, Tom. It's Tom is on a Bears band. Then he's 1-8. When he doesn't play the Bears, he's 1-8. That's it.
That one was the last one that ran or something.
They're going down.
Should have been last week, though, you would think, but that one.
They are going down.
We have all kinds of issues at our place. If they don't get them fixed.
Do you think I'm too mean to our guy?
It's funny that
you're gonna have to be more specific.
Mr. Cousins.
Do I think you're too mean? No, I
it's
don't
accurate.
think you're too mean.
I can't believe we're gonna dive into this more tomorrow. I can't believe the Cowboys. That's not true. I can totally believe the Cowboys lost the game, but they lost to the Saints by 183 points. That's also an exaggeration. It was 44-19, but it felt like it. Fun show. Thanks for listening. We have a lot more to unpack tomorrow. Don't change the dial. Keep listening to the Infinity Sports Network. Thank you so much for hanging. See you here tomorrow on Red Edition.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I was so mad too.
My whole business just went up in flames. But my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owners insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
The Parks and Recreation Trust Fund has supported local recreation, North Carolina state parks, and coastal access through grant funding since 1994. This allows our beautiful state parks to maintain the quality that you've come to love. Enjoy all the outdoors has to offer, like hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. Visit ncparks.gov for the latest information and a calendar of events. Thank you, North Carolina, for your continued support for the last 30 years.
Do life stresses have you feeling exhausted? Do your golf, tennis, and workouts have your body aching? If so, K-Ross Float and Wellness Studio has your solution. Come visit us on 2800 East 10th Street and try our services like our Float Therapy, which is a private pool containing a saturated solution of Epsom salt that allows you to float effortlessly for ultimate relaxation and therapy. At K-Ross Wellness Studio, we also have an infrared, sauna, cold plunge, and salt halo therapy that will leave your body feeling relaxed and healed. Contact us today at krossfloats.com. K-Ross Floats and Wellness Studio. Restful intentions.
Opportunities await for all students in Pitt County schools. We open doors by finding pathways to provide the best possible chance of success for each to reach their career aspirations of choice. As we head through the 2024-25 school year, we will continue to guide our students for the different journeys of life preparedness. We are committed to enhancing academic achievement and developing personal growth through work-based learning of our many career and technical education programs, college readiness, and saluting those who will be serving our country in the armed forces. Engaging, empowering, and elevating students to be successful citizens, workers, and leaders in a global economy remains our mission. Please visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org to learn how we grow minds and invest in our future through 38 schools and one community. Education, the key that unlocks doors of opportunity.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
TD, Tutty, taking it to the house. Whatever you call a touchdown, they matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first NFL bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code PIRATE. That's code PIRATE for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus. North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show is powered by Greenville Utilities and also brought to you by
The Angus Grill, Bostic Sug, Bojangles, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show. A gloomy Monday as far as the weather goes. It looks like Tuesday's going to be just like it, maybe into the middle of the week. The Pirates coming off of that 21-19 loss to Appalachian State from Saturday. Next up, the Flames of Liberty. So we're going to talk about the Flames. We'll go back and talk about the Mountaineer loss as well. Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach at East Carolina, is our guest today. Coach, first of all, welcome. Welcome to Greenville. I haven't had a chance to meet you or have you on, but we're glad you're here.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
We're going to talk tight ends coming up today with Coach Mackay, and the tight end position is very important in this East Carolina offense. We're back to kick off today's show for you right after this.
Want to make your day better? Order a Papa John's pizza. Get an extra large, one-topping New York-style pizza for only $10.99. Made into 8 foldable slices, perfect for sharing or not. See, things just got better, and you get to eat pizza. Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
Fall into comfort with fantastic fall savings from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Transform your home this fall with some of our lowest prices of the season, plus 6 months special financing. Kick back, relax with beautiful motion furniture from Lazy Boy, Bassett, and Best at the guaranteed lowest price. Catch better Z's and save on a comfortable new Serta or Helix mattress with up to 48 months special financing. Cozy up and fall into comfort now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season, and that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Hey folks, Coach Steve Logan here, asking you to support the life-saving mission of the Atlantic Beach King Mackerel Tournament this October. This event helps raise needed funds for the fire department's purchase of life-saving gear that could save someone you love.
Join Bojangles, Window World, Flatlands Jessup Insurance, and Linda Wright Real Estate
as we raise money to save lives. Sign up for the Atlantic Beach King Mackerel Tournament or simply make your life-saving donation at WeFishForLife.com.
What's up, Pirate Nation? Are you guys ready for some ECU football? Because we are here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And to kick this season off, we're doing 90 days till first payment on all Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rams. Also, up to $9,500 off new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 2-row and up to $7,000 off the 24 model Jeep Grand Cherokee 3rd row. Don't forget to check out our huge selection of affordable used vehicles starting from $699 and up. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership. Savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this rainy Monday. Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach at East Carolina, live in the studio with us. We'll take your questions and comments on our YouTube page, also on our Facebook Live page. So if you have anything, we will pass them along to Coach Mackay. But let's start with talking about Coach and his arrival to Greenville. What do you think about Greenville so far?
Oh, man, I love it. I like the small town feel and all the restaurants and food and everything that we got going on. Got the three boys in a good daycare program, so enjoying it.
I always like to have the coaches on, especially the new ones, and they can talk a little bit about their family before we start talking X's and O's and that kind of game thing. Your wife's named Caitlin, my daughter's named Caitlin, so I saw that right away and got to that. And then you got the three boys, and they got great names, don't they? I mean, that's just Ford, Archer, and Ryder. Those are three. Those are three masculine names, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, we try. So my oldest is Ford. We technically have Irish triplets. So my oldest is 2.5. I have twin boys that are 1.5 years. My oldest name is Ford, and we were joking around one night, me and my wife, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to name my son Ford because I like trucks. And she ended up
I got a Ford truck. I like that.
Me too. So it ends up working out for sure. But yeah, they're chaos and everything, and my wife's a saint for handling that. So,
and that's one of the things I've always had so much respect for assistant coaches, because you guys, rarely do you get a chance to go somewhere and stay 12, 15 years to raise your family. Kind of understands that, hey, we're here. We don't know what tomorrow brings, but we got to take advantage of where we're at right now and go from there. But it's really a tough. To me, it's a tough life. But some people love it and enjoy it. And if you love to coach, you got a chance.
That's right. Yeah, me and my wife actually like it. So, like I said, my oldest is 2.5. This is his third city that he's lived in.
Wow.
His third school already, and the second for the twins. but we like it. We like seeing new places, meeting new people, and the experiences that it brings. So.
You got as many kids as you do in your tight end room almost, don't you?
That's very true.
That's right.
Thinking about getting a starting five going here in basketball. So.
That'll work. Appalachian State knocks off East Carolina 21-19. What a great atmosphere it was on Saturday at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium with a 4 o'clock kickoff and just everything around the game. The start the Pirates got off to, wow, just electric as far as the stadium was concerned and what went on. What were you thinking about with that start?
Yeah, the atmosphere was unbelievable. The fans came out excited. It was very rowdy, and that made our guys have some energy for sure. And then, we get out to that quick start and just talking to our guys, because at the end of the day, this is only their third game in this system and stuff, and we're going to be explosive and stuff. But, just because we score on the third play doesn't mean that we don't have 80 more plays to play. So just trying to stick with our guys about consistency and how every play is independent of each other to keep going.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too. When you're working with a new system and youth everywhere, not only youth but just new guys in new positions. When you get off to a start like that, I think the average fan goes, "Hey, 16-0, we're going to blow this team out," and that's just not how it is.
No, not at all, not at all. And I think that's what we got to continue to talk to our guys about. It's just because you have success early doesn't mean it's going to have success late, and just because if you don't have success early doesn't mean that you're not going to have success late.
Yeah.
So.
Little catch-22 either way. You got to figure that thing out and go from there. Pirates and Liberty coming up at 6 o'clock on Saturday up at Liberty. When you think about that, just what this Pirate football team is going through, you look at the schedule, and I know you guys are focused in on the next game, but when you look at the whole body of work and what the schedule is like, life in the American, there are some tough teams, but there are also, you look at all the games, there are a lot of winnable games on the schedule.
Oh, 100%. And, the American's a great conference, and then obviously our out-of-conference schedule, just looking at it, people don't think it's that shiny because there wasn't a Michigan on the schedule this year. But, you got Old Dominion's a really good bowl eligible probably.
Yeah.
Sunbelt team. App State's obviously a good team. Liberty's a really good team, too. So, the out-of-conference, too, is – it can be tough, but, we're excited to, it's been 48 hours since App. We've been 36 hours into Liberty already. So, but excited to get up there on the road and see what that atmosphere is like.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you look at non-conference and if it's not NC State or North Carolina, people kind of, look down on it. But as you said, going up to Old Dominion was not an easy deal to go up and win that football game. And that's one of those games that the Pirates were able to win a close game, make the key plays to win a close game. And if you make those same type of plays against Appalachian State, you may pull off that one because that was so close and you're just one play or two away from winning that game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And anywhere you go on the road is going to be hard to win. And I think when you win games like that, it brings the team closer together. They learn how to win and stuff. And obviously we're still working through that, making plays in the fourth quarter or simply not having simple mistakes in the fourth quarter, critical mistakes in third down situations. But getting that road win against Old Dominion was really good. As you can see, obviously we're still working through some stuff, and I feel confident that we can. Our guys are great. They come to work every day and they're excited to be there. So they're a fun group to work with.
How hard is it to, implement an offensive system, a new offensive system, and to get all the bugs worked out of that? I know it's a work in progress, obviously, because you're trying to get better and better and better. But how hard has that been since you guys came together? You were hired in December, so you guys get together in January, off-season work, and then you go through spring football and try to install everything and that kind of thing. But how difficult is that?
I think it's a lot more difficult than people think, especially with, the new quarterback situation in the spring, through the battle from spring with the quarterback position, fall camp, you don't have just one guy.
Right.
So working through the meshing standpoint of that, timing with receivers, tight ends, running backs, all that. But it is a lot harder. And me and JDB, coming from Ole Miss where they had, going into the 3-year starting quarterback, 2-year starting tight end, they had receivers that had been there 3 years. So, we talk about all the time when Ole Miss was starting camp, they were probably on day 15 of install.
Right.
The playbook, we're breaking down install 1 very slowly. So it's a slow process, but I think the guys are slowly getting better.
What were you thinking when you got the call from Coach Baker about coming to East Carolina?
I was really excited at first, and then I went home and told my wife, and she reminded me to not tell her anything until anything's final
because she get her hopes up.
Yeah, we get hopes up and calls all the time that don't work out. So I was really excited at first, and then I'm on Google Maps looking up the city and everything doing that. But yeah, we try not to get our hopes up too much because they get crushed a lot in this business.
They do, and as a young coach, I mean, you start off at the lowest part. In some of the jobs you've had, I'm sure you're thinking like, hey, how am I ever going to get rise in this profession? But you kind of have to crawl before you can walk and that kind of thing, and kind of build it up. But and you were at Ole Miss as an assistant offensive line coach, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're working on that end. So that's got to help you too with the tight ends as far as blocking and the offensive scheme.
Oh, yeah, I think so. When I played receiver in college, and then my first job in college, the head coach put me with the O-line, and I hated it at first. I missed the skills part of it, and then it really opened my eyes to the game and just how totally different those guys have it and how difficult it is up front for those guys. And I think it did make me a better tight ends coach because I wouldn't know anything about the run game and pass protection if it wasn't for my experience with the O-line.
Yeah, and we talk about the 11 players, on the side of a football team and how they have to mesh and understand if one guy blows his assignment. But really, and everybody has always said about the offensive line that somehow they have to turn the 5 pennies into a nickel. You've got to be, and those offensive linemen, they can be strong and they can be, just big brutes and can push people around. But if they don't not pushing the right person around, it doesn't do a whole lot of good, does it?
No doubt at all. and for skill guys, hey, are they playing man or zone? Well, it's not that simple up front.
Right.
So every different play may look the same on the back end, but that front end is, very difficult.
If you're on the offensive line and you get ready to go block somebody in pass protection and he backs off and he's in pass protection, then all of a sudden you've got all kinds of issues trying to find out who to block.
There's no doubt. It's amazing what the O-line can do and everything because it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a whole. Have you seen tight ends that just really adapt to the role of blocking, that they really enjoy it? And you have other tight ends, I would think, and I'm not saying anybody on this roster, but I'm saying just in general, some tight ends are like, I'm a receiver. I'm not a tight end. I'm not one of those big guys blocking. You see the difference?
Oh, yeah. You get it all the time with this position and stuff. And I think I try to tell all those guys that see themselves as receivers is, well, if you want to play receiver, you need to run a 4-4, and you don't run a 4-4. So if you embrace the role of blocking, all that pass game stuff's going to open up for you later. But until you embrace it, it's not going to pop for you. So, and if you don't run a 4-4, then you're staying in my room. So.
And you have to have guys that embrace it for sure.
Oh, 100%. You have to. And it's a different mentality. It's a different mentality for sure. And that's kind of what Casey has brought to our room and stuff. It's kind of because he's been such a good blocker. He's been in the offense. He understands it and stuff. And you see stuff pop for him because of his willingness to go in the hat and put his hat in the run game and everything.
And we'll talk individually about each one of your tight ends in just a little bit. But when you think about Casey Kelly, it just seems like I've seen him on so many running plays just through 3 games, and you see him in the middle of the hole pushing somebody one way or pushing somebody the other way. Like, he seems like it's like when he's in the huddle, he gets a blocking assignment. He's just as excited about that as getting an assignment to catch a football.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. And you can see it when he starts pancaking people and stuff. But, his savviness in the run game and his ability to make stuff right when it's not super clean and everything has made my job a lot easier, that's for sure.
And we've said it for so many years at East Carolina that when the Pirates have a strong tight end room, when there's a strong tight end, usually that means success for East Carolina football. I've said it for so many years. That tight end position is so very important. We've had some outstanding tight ends through the years. I'm talking through 40 years of Pirate football, and I've always enjoyed watching the tight end play at East Carolina. It's just something that it's such a different position because those guys do have to block. They've got to block some guys that are huge, really big guys.
Oh yeah, way bigger than them. That's for sure. And I mean, those 2 guys Saturday were a lot longer and heavier than the tight ends. But they go out there and they run their feet and their willingness to do it, they can get the job done.
21-19, the Pirates fall to Appalachian State for game number 3. So the Pirates are at 2-1 on the season after knocking off Norfolk State 42-3, beating Old Dominion 20-14. It kind of seems like this offense has shown some signs of really doing some great things. But it's still, as you said, it's a work in progress. I mean, you guys want to put 30 and 35 and 40 points on the board.
100% we do, and you go look at all the film too. We're just not sustaining drives at the end of the day. You go look at just Saturday in general. It's a base 3rd down protection, and we have a bust. Whether it be the tight end, the running back, or the O-line, whoever it may be, something simple. or we're not taking care of the football or something like that. But it's just about sustaining drives and stuff. And in this business, we always say stats are for losers. But we're racking up the yards. We're just not finishing it. We're not scoring points when we need to, which is obviously the issue that we're working on and stuff. But our guys are going to get it fixed, and they want to get it fixed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what do you think of the speed and the tempo of this offense? Because, man, you guys, one play's over, and whoever's got the football is throwing it to the referee, and everybody's lining up and ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Our kids do a great job with all our ball mechanics and stuff that we preach in this tempo offense and stuff. So this is my third or fourth year in this offense, so I'm almost numb to it now. But you hear people talk about it, and they talk about how fast we're going. But we've been in it for so long now, we don't even think of it as being that fast. But it's chaotic for the defense, and our guys train in it, so they're good for it. They can play 90 plays in it, and I think that's why you see teams struggle, especially on the first drive, because they can't impersonate that during the week with scout teams.
I bet, yeah. How's the communications helped? Because it's different now. You've got, in-helmet audio, and that's got to be a big deal. The audio goes out 15 seconds before the play clock ends, so that's a big deal. You're still signaling plays from the sideline, so that's a big. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think if you guys heard the headsets on game day, it'd be chaotic. No
I always wanted to do that. I'm glad you said that, because I've always wanted to just get a headset and just not talk, don't have a microphone, but just listen, because I think it would be crazy.
Oh yeah, and that's on any sideline that you have for any team. It's going to be chaotic and everything. But there's so much communication that goes on and everything. So Coach Baker's in Jake's ear, and he's able to just give him reminders and stuff that he's supposed to tell the O-line, because the O-line's the only part of the program that doesn't get the signal.
Okay.
So Jake communicates everything to them, and Coach Baker can, simple reminders what he needs to tell the O-line on each play while we're getting the skill guys lined up. But it's been great. We love it. We love the headset communication.
So when you guys are communicating, do you talk to Coach Baker like when he's not communicating with Garcia at quarterback? You able to interject some ideas or that kind of thing, or if you see something you just flash in there, but at some point everybody's got to shut up because he's got to get the play in.
Yeah, and I think everyone's pretty good during a drive. There's not much time for that. He's calling the plays. We're getting it signaled in, and then he's talking to Jake, and then we're snapping it, and then we're rolling. Usually it comes in after the drive is when everybody is, hey, this is what's happening. We should try this, or this is what happened on this play. That's why we missed it. So most of the coach-to-coach communication happens after a drive.
Yeah. When you get a chance. And now you've got a chance to see some of the videos on the sidelines, right, with the iPads and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, too, isn't
That's
it?
a game changer.
So,
yeah. We're basically watching the game with our guys, making right there in-game corrections, and it's not, hey, he did this on this play, and you're taking the kid's word for it.
Right.
It is, no, he did this.
Those players will lie to you, won't they?
Oh, yeah, they will.
They don't mean to sometimes.
They do it on purpose
That's
or not, but they will, But it's been great. I think the weirdest part is I feel kind of out of tune with the game in general now, because we're watching our drive, so I have no idea what the defense is doing,
right?
Or anything like that. So that's kind of been a change. I don't have a feel for the entire game.
I think it was Dan Rather's book, The Camera Never Blinks, or something like that. But the camera doesn't lie, right?
Doesn't at all.
Doesn't lie at all.
It never lies.
You can look at it, you can see the plays, and that's got to be just, as you said, it's a game changer, but it's so different than what it's been like. Just think about, in my career, how much everything's changed. I remember high school football coaches having to, get the film after their game's over and drive somewhere and meet some other coach and swap films with them.
Right.
And then they would always say that somebody would accidentally erase the film, and they get, there's nothing on it. And now we're talking about college coaches who have instant access to the video as soon as the play. It's like 15 seconds, isn't it?
It's right. We get them all right when we're over there and everything. TV timeouts are long now too, so it's up and running for sure. So.
Man, that's just incredible. All right, we're going to take a commercial break right now. We'll regroup. We're going to talk about the tight end room for Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach at East Carolina under head coach Mike Houston. Coach Houston has his press conference today at 2:30 as we get you set for East Carolina and Liberty. 6 p.m. kickoff coming up this Saturday. Questions and comments on our YouTube live page, our Facebook live page. We'll pass them along. Back with more after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. ECU baseball alum Zach Agnos picked up his 7th save of the season and 2nd straight for the Hartford Yard Goats in a 5-2 win over Akron Saturday. He struck out 2 and walked 1 in the 9th and lowered his ERA to 1.95. And Justin Hardy earned his 2nd straight CFL 1,000-yard season for the Ottawa Red Blacks during a loss to the Hamilton Ticats over the weekend. He had 8 catches for 103 yards. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Did you know that GUC's electric rates are the lowest in Pitt County? GUC's average residential electric bill using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month with load management is $21 lower than the investor-owned utilities and $34 lower than the local co-ops. In fact, GUC's average electric bills are still $10 lower than they were 10 years ago. Low rates with high reliability. That's the value of public utilities. That's the value of GUC.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach, is with us until about 1:45 this afternoon, or if you're listening to us late, quarter to the hour, because he's got a meeting coming up at 1 o'clock, and we promised we'd get him out of here for that. So we've got a few more minutes we can spend with Coach Mackay talking about the tight ends, and let's go through the room. Again, taking your questions and comments on our Facebook Live and our YouTube page today if you have anything for him. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. But let's start in the room. Let's start with Casey Kelly. We talked about him a little bit, but I haven't had a chance to meet him yet, but I'm supposed to tomorrow. We're going to make him our Pirate profile for the Mike Houston show this week. The transfer from Oregon via Ole Miss. His uncle is Jim Kelly, which I didn't realize. I was looking it up earlier today. That's kind of a cool deal.
Oh yeah, that's an awesome deal, and I think some people know that. I don't think everyone actually quite knows that, but it's a good deal. I mean, he comes from a good football family.
Yeah, definitely. His brother, also Ole Miss quarterback Chad Kelly.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's got some blood as far as that goes. But he just seems to he's the ultimate package as far as the tight end is concerned, isn't he?
Oh yeah, 100%. And you know, he was with us at Ole Miss in this system. Obviously went to Oregon before coming here, but you know, he's somebody that's played a lot of ball. You know, and he shows up every day like a pro, you know, so, you know, he does stuff after practice. He comes in, extra film, extra questions. You know, he's a great leader, and not only in that room either, but, you know, for the offense and for the team and stuff. But, you know, we're lucky to have him. And when you meet him tomorrow, you're going to love him.
Yeah.
You know, he's an entertainer. manner. He's a great kid. He just brings an energy to the room. So.
I know you're really young, but did you ever think you'd see a day where you're talking about a kid who was at Ole Miss that transferred to Oregon that came to East Carolina?
No.
I mean that's just just the miles involved with that. But that's the day and age we live in.
Oh yeah, yeah. When he first moved here too, he'd been here like 2 or 3 weeks and had to go back out to Oregon for something. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like a 6-hour flight or something. He had to go back out there and do that. But yeah, it's a new age in college football between the portal and NIL and everything that goes on with it. That's for sure.
It's really strange. And every coach I have on says the same thing. They kind of shake their head and they kind of like, it's the world we live in. But it's a constant adjustment, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. You got to continue to change and find new ways to do something because it's so new, so nobody has the right answers on anything yet. So still working through it.
I think you're right. All right, Kenny writes in, says, why are we not seeing any runs or dump-off passes outside of the tackles? It seems like the running game is based on a zone dive type play. Does the running back have the option to go one way or the other, or is he supposed to hit a certain hole?
Yeah, I mean, in the zone game, they got some options inside that they got to hit. They don't have to hit one hole particularly, but we don't. When we're calling certain plays, they got to keep it inside the tackles, and then we got some other ways to get it outside the tackles and on the edge and everything.
Rajay's 63-yard run against Old Dominion. What was that play?
That was just a little draw play. Quarterback Jake was checking out wide to see if he liked to throw, and if it wasn't there, then we're just handing off the little running back draw to Rod, and then Rod did the rest after that.
Rajay was gone. And Coach Houston laughed about his breakaway speed, but he looked good on that run, didn't he?
He sure did. He looked a little bit faster than I think we all thought he was on that one. He looked good.
And that's good to see because Rajay, he was kind of like the thunder to the Lightning with Keaton Mitchell that first year, and I had a chance to see Keaton on the sideline the other day. You didn't get a chance to coach him or be with him when he was here, but man, that guy can fly, and I think he's eligible to come off the PUP list with the Ravens after 4 weeks. So get a chance to see that former Pirate back on the field in the NFL. Again, questions, comments on our YouTube live page, Facebook page for Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach at East Carolina. We were talking about Casey Kelly a little bit, but that means a lot to get him involved in the offense, and I think you guys probably want to get him more involved in the pass game, don't you?
Yeah, we're always trying to find different ways to get those guys, Casey and all those guys in that room involved and stuff. And, we work stuff all week that, sometimes just doesn't come up in the game and, depending on the flow and the situation and everything. But, yeah, we're always looking to get those guys involved when we can.
And the screen game is a big part of football sometimes. You guys look at some of that with the tight ends or the running backs?
Yeah, we dive into that stuff each week, see what we like. And the biggest thing for us is making sure we don't ruin the game for them. And in the sense, I mean, we don't want to install too much new plays. We want to make sure they know how to run them and get good reps at them during the week and stuff. So we got to kind of tote that line of keeping it within the system and getting some flair to it as well.
On a typical week, how much new stuff goes into the offense?
With what we do and with this group, just because they're so new in the system, probably not that much.
Right.
In teams that I've been with in the past, older kids, older quarterback, it would be a good amount of stuff. And maybe more so different formations and motions than plays in general.
And when you're looking at film, what are some of the specifics that you're looking for on in your room? When you have all the tight ends together and you're sitting around and you're looking at tape, what are you guys looking at?
So the first thing we do early on in the week when we intro it is we look at personnel, returning starters, what's their base defensive front, backers for the run game, and then we branch out from there with coverage, personnel out wide for matchups in the pass game and stuff like that. And then we get into later in the week, okay, we're going to run these plays and these formations because these are the looks that they do in these formations. And, this is the area that we're trying to attack and just showing them that too.
So during the week, too, how much do you guys work with the offensive line as far as, in film work and in drills at practice and that kind of thing? Because, as we've said, you guys have both jobs. You got to catch the ball. You got to be like a receiver. What do you want to call them, a slow receiver? But no, they got to be a receiver, but they also have to block. So it's kind of a mix in it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think if the guys hear this and they hear me call them slow receivers, they might.
That was me saying slow. It wasn't Coach.
Mad at me there, but
yeah.
No, we got to do a lot of work with the O-line, and especially, in certain situations early on in the week, short yardage goal line situations, we're always with the O-line. We do individual with the O-line, usually with the tackles, in that part of it and stuff. And then later in the week when we get to, third downs, we're more with the quarterbacks and the skill guys and stuff. But yeah, you're right. We work with every position, that's for sure.
I mean, made the analogy about the 5 pennies and 1 nickel, but really it's 6 with the tight end involved.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, they've got to be on the same type page, and sometimes they're pulling, sometimes they're going straight ahead, sometimes they're in pass protection.
That's
I think people don't really realize that sometimes the tight end is one of your blockers.
Right. And like you said too, that the tight ends, they got pass protect like the O-line, they got to run block like the O-line, and then they got to run routes like the receivers. So sometimes the playbook can get hefty on those guys, but those 4 guys in that room right now, they handle it all very well.
How hard is it when you're out recruiting to recruit a tight end? Because we hear so much that offensive linemen are hard to find, defensive linemen are very hard to find, but tight ends are kind of in a different realm too. And I would think that that's kind of difficult.
Yeah, I think it can be difficult, especially like you said earlier. Some of these high school kids, they're still looking at themselves as receivers,
right?
And we're like, well, you're a tight end at the next level, so. I think sometimes the faster that they can realize that, the better their recruitment can go. And then, from a tight end standpoint too, you got to make sure they're good at football for one, but you got to make sure that they can comprehend and understand a playbook, because it's not just running deep routes. They got to learn a lot of stuff, and so they got to have a good football knowledge of it.
And you would think Big John's got a different plan for his wide receivers as far as putting weight on, putting muscle on, than he does for his tight ends. There's a difference there. So those guys got to come in and realize, hey, I'm a tight end now. I got to bulk up a little bit.
That's right.
I may not be as fast as I was, but that's part of the plan.
Right. And that's the key is trying to put on weight and not losing speed. So.
Yeah. Talk about somebody else in your room. DeCerio Riles had a huge first game against Norfolk State, had a couple of touchdown catches in that one. He's a sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. But talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, DeCerio's awesome, young kid, and he can really fly. So he's probably one of the fastest in the room. And, we saw some of that stuff in that first game with his deep route that he had. And then he had an unbelievable play on the little goal line touchdown, staying in bounds for it and stuff.
He did.
He's a special athlete.
Which was reviewed and overturned, right? Yeah, it overturned.
They called him out and stuff, but he made a heck of a play to keep his feet in and dive in the end zone and stuff. But, he's special talent that we got in that room and stuff, and the ability that he has to do stuff out wide like a true receiver and stuff. And, he'd be one to tell you right now, too, like he can probably run almost as good as some of our receivers.
I would think, yeah.
Especially when I got here.
He's not one of the slow ones.
No, he is not. He is not. So
make sure
on the table
we understand that DeCerio is not one of those. Is it one of those situations too that you have to have the right tight end in the game for whatever play you want to call? Because if you're gonna, if you got a running play, I would think you got to get one of your blocker guys in, and so it's a little different there too.
Yeah, and that's the part of the game and that we talk about all the time is just continuing to develop him in the run game part of it, because as everybody's seen, he can do all the pass game part of it too. And like you said, you get a flow for the game. What are we really getting into at the tight end position here and stuff for the rotation and who's going in.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of DeCerio in that first game against Norfolk State with those 2 touchdown catches. But he kind of looked like he can get bigger and stronger, and if he does, he could be a force to be reckoned with in his junior, senior year.
Oh yeah, he can for sure. And the amount of effort he plays with is one of the best in that room. He practices hard.
Tyler Savage is a senior in your room, a communications major, 4-year letterman. Talk about Tyler a little bit.
Yeah, T. Savage is a good one. He was a receiver when he got here,
right.
So understanding, route concepts and that he's great at, still learning the position in the sense of run game part of it. But, he's a big specimen. He's physical, and he's done a great job in the run game since we got here too. And he's a really good piece of that puzzle that we got for sure.
J.C. Connor's a sophomore from the Ole Miss transfer, so he knows a little bit about you guys from the Ole Miss days.
Oh, yeah. So JDB recruited him at Ole Miss, when he played tight end, and then J.C. got in the portal here in May or that April window right there, and we brought him up here. So he's been a great addition, another kid that's played in the offense and understands it and everything. So, but those 2 young guys they got some serious talent down there, that's for sure.
That's the one thing, too, that I try to ask the coaches. In recruiting, it used to be, if you choose this school over my school, have a great career, but we'll see, we're kind of done, because you chose that school and you're not going to be with us. But these days, you have to keep, a great attitude with anybody that doesn't choose you, because a year later, the whole thing may change because they're in the transfer portal and you're like, hey, remember me? I'm a nice guy. I was a nice guy for you when you chose, XYZ, but we'd like to have you back. Like to talk to you. That's how it is now.
Yeah, you can't burn any bridges.
You can't burn the bridges.
Either way, recruit or coach.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a different world. All right, let's go through the rest of the room. Gage Reel from Charlotte Christian. He's a transfer from Louisville.
Yeah, he is, and he's from Charlotte, and he got here, and he's done a great job. You know, he picked up on the offense really quickly, and he's been a great addition to that room as well. And then I see you got Mason Brown down there as well.
He's from James Keenan, so he played a lot of high school ball around here.
He did, and he was a good basketball player and baseball player, I heard, in high school, too, or at least he says. So, you know, I haven't watched any tape on that. But he's getting his sophomore year, and he's a great fit in that room, and he does a lot of good stuff, too. He really flashes for a young kid, and I'm looking forward to continuing to develop him.
And the freshman, Nick Slogic.
Yep, Nick got here in the summer and everything, and he's looking to put on some weight and be that physical run game guy, kind of switching it up, different pieces that we got. You know, you got JC and O that are really good in the pass game and everything, and we're looking to bring Nick in to be, you know, one of those true inline guys, you know, 255-pound guys that can bury a DN in the run game. He brings a different aspect to the run.
And he got a whole lot of offers from a whole lot of different schools.
Yeah, he did, and he's a really good baseball player as well.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I knew it was two sports. I was trying to figure out, he doesn't play basketball, but it was baseball, yeah.
And he had the option to go play baseball if he wanted and stuff, and end up, you know, choosing football and everything.
Yeah.
So, but he's been a great.
And I think I've heard about his baseball prowess that he can play some baseball too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That might be good for Cliff Godwin and company for Pirate baseball. Hunter Mackay is our guest, the tight ends coach at East Carolina. Got him for about 7 or 8 more minutes before we get him out of here for his 1 o'clock meeting. Let's talk a little bit about Liberty. Liberty comes in at 3-0 with wins over Campbell, New Mexico State, and UTEP. They beat UTEP the other night 28-10. I believe it was 14-3 early, maybe 14-10 at the half, but Liberty pulled away after that. The New Mexico State game was on the road. That was the 30-24 win, but Liberty with a 3-0 record. When you look at Liberty and the Flames, and they've had some outstanding seasons for sure, but what do you see about them on tape?
You know, I see a group of guys that are returning 8 starters on defense, and you know, they do enough good stuff up front, you know, to give you some concerns and everything. But you know, when you get a team like that that's had 2 great seasons playing in the Fiesta Bowl and everything, you know, it's a team that, you know, they know how to win, especially late in the fourth quarter. You can see that by some of the games and some of the scores, especially this year. You know, they played New Mexico State 3 out of their last 16 games. You know, they played them twice last year and already played them this year and everything. But, you know, they're a really good football team, and going up on the road and trying to knock them off is going to be a good task for us to try to go do. And it's funny because in the Fiesta Bowl they played Oregon, so Casey's already played against these guys.
Oh, be darned! Yeah, there you go. So he's got a little experience against those guys. It's one of those deals. I love going to a place I've never been to before. I've never been to Liberty. How about you?
No, I hadn't either, and so I'm looking forward to going there. You know, you look at our schedule. I've been to Old Dominion when I was at Middle Tennessee State. I've been to Army and stuff like that, but I've never been to Liberty, so looking forward to seeing that atmosphere.
Having the service academies in the American, I think is one of the real coups for the American. I think that's just outstanding with Army and Navy both, and just a trip, as you said, I've been to Army and I've been to Navy, but those are 2 just unbelievable trips. And I think any football team that can get a chance to play those schools and see, you know, and sometimes you don't, you know, as players and as a team, you don't get a chance to see everything because you're in the locker room, you're getting ready to play the game. But man, those are 2 cool places.
They really are. And I was actually telling my dad, you know, like last week, I'd love to go to an Army-Navy game.
I would too.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to, but
Me
I think
either.
that would be something that'd be really cool.
But I think that would be on the bucket list because I think that would be really, really special. And those games, I enjoy just watching that game every year. You know, just kind of because it's kind of set apart from, you know, what else is going on, and it's just it's a neat game. And the American, you know, they'll still play that game. It won't count as an American Conference game when they do play, but they will still play and keep the tradition as far as that goes and keep that thing alive. But when you look at Liberty's defense, is there anything you see? Are they similar to any of the teams you've seen so far?
Yeah, they have similar structure. You know, they jump into an odd front, sort of like App State was in on Saturday, and then they do some middle field closed, like we've kind of seen this year as well. So, you know, it's really just about our guys winning some individual matchups and everything like that. But, you know, they do a good job, and they do what they do. So we just got to go out and execute and you know, put drives together and finish drives.
How much do you guys utilize with a 2 tight end set? You know, do you have, you know, is there a lot of that, a little bit of that? What do you got?
Yeah, I think on Saturdays, you know, you kind of see mostly 11 personnel stuff.
Right.
We look at a lot of 12 personnel stuff during the week. We game plan a lot of 12 personnel stuff just if we need to get into it. You know, especially short yardage goal line, which you've seen. Usually it's Casey and T-Sav in the 12 personnel sets out there. But, we do have a good menu of 12 personnel plays. If we ever need to get to it or we like something specifically that week, we will jump into 12.
So when you're in the heat of battle and you got the communications going on and all that's happening, take us through what happens on the sideline to try to get the right personnel in when you're calling the play.
Yeah, so, basically we live out of 11 personnel, so, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and then as JDB wants to change personnels, her say, like, give me 12 personnel here, or give me whatever, and then usually it's a frantically call out, screaming, where's Tyler Savage at? Tyler Savage, and hopefully he hears me. But T-Sav does a good job because he knows he's the 12 personnel guy, so he'll be standing right next to you, and then we got hand signals, we got boards that signal the communication so the slot receiver knows to come out and everything.
So you're on the field.
I am. Yes, sir.
You're on the field. I knew that Coach Baker was up in the box, and some coaches like the box, some people like the field. What's your preference?
I've been both. I think you have a better view of the game up top.
Yeah.
But you kind of have no feel for how your kids are reacting, what they look like in the eyes and stuff. It's definitely more chaotic on the sideline.
Yes. I would say that's for sure as well. But you do, when guys walk off the field and you can just see, and sometimes, if a kid makes a mistake, I don't think have we had a fumble all year? We had a couple of fumbles. Have we lost a fumble? I don't think.
Yeah, we did on Saturday. We did.
We lost one. That's right. We did. Yeah. I remember it now. But if somebody does do that, when they come off the field, I mean, you can tell in a kid's eyes if he's fired up, ready to go back out and make amends, or if he's going to just sulk. And you can kind of see that on the field, can't you?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think that's why it's important and to have all the position coaches down, which we have all the position coaches down, and Coach Baker goes up and everything to see what he needs to call.
But it is a complicated process.
It is. It really is.
It's so fun when you're a fan of football just to talk to you guys and kind of pick your brains about stuff. But the communications and I was walking by, the big thing that they have now for the communications and all that stuff that's involved with that, and it's come a long, long way since a chalkboard. I can still see Coach Shankweiler with a chalkboard on the side. And,
they gave me one the first game. I'm like, I don't think I need this anymore.
That's right.
We're just pulling up the iPad.
All right, what do you guys have to do to get a win this week at Liberty?
We got to protect the football, which is forever and always. We talk about all the time. You got to die with the football. You don't turn the ball over. Our defense is good, and they're going to go get turnovers, so we can't put us in the hole by turning the ball over. I think if we do that, we got enough talent, we got enough speed, we do enough on offense to go win games. It's number one always is dying with the football and creating explosive plays on offense.
Jake had his problems with the interceptions the first 2 games. Obviously, he threw one key pick in the loss to Appalachian State, but I thought he looked. I mean, I don't think he's ever looked uncomfortable. He's just been the gunslinger. And I made the comment last week on the air that the gunslinger has to turn into the gambler and just know when to hold him and know when to fold him. Right. Coach said it was fish or cut bait, but sometimes you just got to eat it. Got to take the sack. Sometimes you got to just throw it away. And that's hard for a guy who wants to always make that big play. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think you saw Jake grow a lot on Saturdays. There were some times where he did just take the sack or he threw the ball away and stuff. And, he might have had a check down opener there too, but I think it was good to see him, not force anything and really protect the ball, outside that last one. But, the common fan doesn't know that not everything's on that quarterback either.
Right.
Some of that stuff is on us. So.
A lot of it's on the receiver. A lot of it's on somebody misses a block, and it's not just the quarterback. And the other thing about Jake, and I think Coach Houston has kind of said this, and I agree with him, but he hasn't played a lot of football.
No.
I mean, since his high school days, and then his high school days, I think they had a COVID situation. He had to move across the country to get a chance to play.
Yep.
And then he did that. Then he was starting at Miami and got hurt.
Yep.
Then he lost the starting job there. Then he went to Missouri and didn't win the starting job there. And again, we laughed about it, but you're in the portal and you're transferred and everything else. But he ends up with East Carolina. And Coach has said he's had a lot of coaches say, "Hey man, I don't know how you got Jake Garcia there." But he's a talent.
He is. Some of the throws he makes, he can spin it too. And like you said, he's super calm back there. He's got control of the offense. And going back to the portal stuff, we talk about this all the time. Like, yeah, he's an older kid.
Right.
But from a game perspective, he's a freshman.
Exactly.
Like we that happens all the time with these portal kids.
Yeah.
It happened at Ole Miss when we got Jackson Dart. He was a transfer, but that first year he was played as many games as a freshman has played. So.
And people just don't realize that the mentality of a freshman and the mentality of a junior in that situation is just night and day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it doesn't matter how good the freshman is. 95% of the time you're going to get those kind of freshman deals, and that's just part of the game. Pirates and Liberty this week, 6 o'clock start time from Williams Stadium up in Lynchburg, Virginia. That stadium seats 25,000. So looking forward to the trip. We're going to get Coach Mackay out of here because it is 1:45. We got to get him to his meeting. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate your time. I know it's a busy time of the year for you guys preparing, and we just certainly appreciate you coming down.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
That's Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach at East Carolina. We're back with more on our show for you after this.
Chicken Salad Chick, we make our food from scratch every day using fresh quality ingredients. We have 12 flavors of chicken salad, plus soups, sides, sandwiches, and desserts. Whether you're craving traditional, savory, spicy, or fruity and nutty chicken salad, we have something for everyone. All of our delicious chicken salads conveniently packaged in take-home containers and multiple sizes for you or the whole family. Visit Chicken Salad Chick or order online today. Now open at 112 Red Banks Road in Greenville. Chicken Salad Chick.
Yeah. Get your game faces on, Pirates. Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. It's time to blast the cannons in the stands and the fields, if you know what I mean. We're flying into Dove season with shotguns galore and shells for days. Don't miss out on Beretta's $200 cash back on A400 Extreme Pluses and $75 back on A300 Ultimas. Tune in as we head into hunting season with the best deals around and the largest selection of firearms and accessories in Eastern NC. Shop online or stop on by Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
Find out when the cannons explode. Where do you find the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Eastern North Carolina? It's DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com is a combination of 4 dealerships in Eastern North Carolina with a fully stocked inventory of over 200 SUVs, trucks, and cars. If you're looking to upgrade your vehicle or purchase for a new driver in the house, get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com, supporting the Pirates for over 47 years.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations. From the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in Eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in Uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
Mow like a pro with Hustler zero-turn mowers. They engineer their mowers to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler zero-turn mowers deliver professional grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. Come into Ron Ayers Motorsports to see the Hustler difference for yourself today. Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that are important to our customers, employees, and communities. While we have grown in size and presence, we have never forgotten our roots. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. Our success is your success, because to us, this is home. Go Pirates! Bankwithunited.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. We've got about 10 minutes or so to go before the wrap-up is on. We got a question from Irving, and he says, in my career, have you seen many former quarterbacks become tight ends? And you guys may be able to help me with the most recent players, but I remember Scott Richards. And I think he was I don't think he was with the Peach Bowl team. I think he was right after that. But he was a quarterback, and they brought him down, and they started getting bigger, stronger, put some muscle on him, and he was an outstanding tight end for East Carolina.
One of my favorites, you probably saw him play
quarterback in high school, Bailey, Devon Drew.
Oh, yeah, from
played
Newburgh.
tight end.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some of the great tight ends we've had. Devon Drew was one of them, and he played quarterback. Crump didn't play quarterback, but he's one of the great tight ends, Carlson Crumpler Jr., that played at East Carolina.
Rob Cass ended his career at tight end.
He did. Scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he did against Rice.
He kind of did, didn't he? Yeah. Rob Cass had one of the great throws in East Carolina football history in the Hawaii Bowl and set up the field goal.
Holton Naylor should have moved to tight end.
Evidently, that's kind of local politics. Yeah, some of that. But I remember Scott Richards, just one of those really outstanding tight ends. But he started as a quarter. I think he was from up in New Jersey. That may not be right, but that's what my memory. A great kid, just a really good kid, and just an outstanding tight end. But he started at the quarterback position. But
Logan Thomas played against ECU as a quarterback here, and we lost a frustrating game to Virginia Tech, but he was in the NFL for many years.
Yes, he was. I remember that, too. All right, let's get it out of your system, Clip. Go ahead and tell me what you want to tell me.
How about Cowboy?
Nobody deserves that more than I do.
What in the world was that, Bailey?
Man, you know what? Here, and this is the truth, and I swear this is the truth. So I'm watching the pregame show. I got home about to watch the last 15, 20 minutes of the pregame show, and all they're talking about is Dallas is going to win. Dallas is doing this. Dallas has got that great defense. Mike Zimmer's brilliant. And I sat there and I said, you know what? This is the NFL, and they're setting Zimmer up, and he's going to get blasted today. I got a bad feeling. And, man, it was a bad feeling through the whole first half, and it didn't get any better. They just were not – they couldn't stop. It wasn't even so much stopping the run. They just couldn't. They couldn't stop the pass at first, and then they couldn't stop the run whenever New Orleans didn't have to throw the ball anymore. They just ran it down their throats, and I don't know. It was a stark contrast from the Cleveland game, and now they got to play the Ravens, and the Ravens are 0-2, right? Baltimore lost both games, so it's an 0-2 Raven team going to Dallas to play 1-1 Dallas. And the year starts, and I saw Cleveland at Cleveland. I said, well, that could be a loss. It's not a bad loss; it's just a loss. Then New Orleans at home, that's a win. So they're 1-1. So we're still on target to be mediocre, but that's where we stand right now. And those Commanders, those Commodores, they came up big. That was a huge matchup there. Now,
who needs touchdowns, Bailey?
Who needs touchdowns? But you can go out and sign a kicker and just tell him to go 7 for 7.
Yeah, Giants needed a kicker yesterday.
Yeah, that was a weird deal where their guy was hurt, so
that's right.
They missed an extra point and then went for 2 every time after that, and then late had to go for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal, and it cost them.
Yeah, the Giants are a wreck, but your Commanders now. Who you got this week?
We got the 0-2 Bengals.
Oh,
Monday night.
Oh, that's right. It's on Monday Night Football, and the Bengals. Yeah, they got to be. Yeah. That Kansas City game was good. That was a good game, and that was fun to watch in the 4:00 window yesterday. But yeah, that's just what the NFL is these days. The NFL is pretty much, you just never know, and that's why everybody gambles and everybody thinks they can win money and everybody loses. That's why they have big buildings in Las Vegas, because it's just, you never can tell. It's just one of those deals that from week to week your team can be really, really good. Somebody sent me a text and go, hey man, the Cowboys are in the playoffs. They're playing like it.
I thought that too. Yeah. Like, wait a minute, are we in?
I just look. Think about it. They had won 16 straight home games. And that doesn't include the Green Bay debacle. Regular season games. So they lose the Green Bay debacle, and the Saints debacle looked very much like the Green Bay debacle.
Oh yeah. I mean, it felt like January.
I mean, it felt like I put my heavy coat on to go outside because it felt just like January. All right, we've got one more commercial break to take. We'll take it right now, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show on this rainy Monday after this.
There's a special deal at US Cellular where you can get 4 lines for just $90. It's perfect for you, barbershop quartet.
That's us.
There's no trade-in needed, and it comes with 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones.
US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
In this new world of having everything delivered to your home or office, why wouldn't you start using Cellular Warehouse for all of your cellular deliveries? Toby Williams and his team are in the business of delivering phones and tablets every day to customers, which enables you to take the hassle out of visiting a store. The best thing about this great service is that it's free. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051. That's 252-799-7051, and let his team make your wireless experience fast and easy. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Pirate football is back, and the only way to dress for game day is to visit UBE or pirateware.com. UBE has all your game day apparel, such as polos, tees, hats, and jerseys. UBE also has all the merchandise to keep your tailgate undefeated. Pirate flags, decals, face tattoos, and more. And for your little pirates, visit our Crow's Nest with Pirate Nation's largest selection of youth apparel. UBE has special hours on Sunday after home games, open from noon till 5. And you can visit pirateware.com anytime. UBE, where every day is game day.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! This is a public notice, only Discount Mattress and Furniture, 1501 Evans Street in Greenville. Every single item must be sold at pennies on the dollar, up to 75% off mattresses, furniture, wall to wall. Only Discount Mattress and Furniture, all wood chest, $99. Computer desk, $99. Nightstands, $49. Dinette sets, table and 4 chairs, $199. Chairs, end tables, coffee tables, $20. Bedroom suits, living room suits, up to 75% off. Regular mattresses sets, regular $500. Today, $200. Pay our cash, check, and credit card. Second chance credit, no credit, new credit, bad credit. 9 days, same as cash. Bring your truck and trailers to save even more. U-Haul trucks will be on location for pickup of merchandise absolutely free. Public notice, Discount Mattress and Furniture, 1501 Evans Street in Greenville. Hurry, when it's gone, it's gone. Winning is not everything, it's the only thing.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show as we wrap up this edition of The Brian Bailey Show. Next week, we're going to try to catch up with some of the players from the 1999 team. I know, Cliff, you guys have had some of those guys on trying to give them a little publicity as you guys get set, as East Carolina gets set to honor the 99 team coming up in the UTSA game. By the way, that is a 4 o'clock kickoff, East Carolina and UTSA, to open up play in the American Athletic Conference, and that'll be a big game at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. But I know you've enjoyed talking to some of those guys, haven't you?
Yeah, reliving some of those moments, hearing stories for the first time, and we've talked to Jeff Carr, Keith Stokes, Andrew Bays, also got Meador's perspective on it, Kevin Monroe, so yeah, it's been fun kind of looking back at that. I love that the school is going to honor them coming up against UTSA.
Yeah, what a crazy time that was. You know, when you go through crazy times like with the flood and everything that's going on and trying to, do sports for a living, it was really a different animal. But that team that went to Raleigh and beat nationally ranked Miami, I still remember seeing the highlights and just being there. I was standing there with Mike Hamrick back when the two of us were still speaking to one another. We are now, though. But just almost with a tear in your eye, because it was such a surreal night to see the Pirates play as well as they did and to win a game after having all of that adversity and everything that was going on. It was really just really a different deal. So we're going to try to get some of the guys on, some different players. We're going to try to track down and have some more perspectives on that great season, on that great game against the University of Miami and Raleigh, and just the whole thing with the hurricane and everything that went along with that. So we're going to try to track some of those guys down next week. Pirates,
I certainly forgot, Bailey, that they were 9-2 in the regular season, with the losses being Southern Miss, which you remember they had issues with the Eagles, but a bad loss Kevin was describing against UAB. Like, they were really close to having a real deal special season. But a couple of losses, then lost to LaDainian Tomlinson, I guess, in the bowl game.
TCU and company in the bowl game. Yeah, and that was that was a tough bowl loss too, but that was a good team. That was a good TCU team that they lost to in that bowl game. All right, let's wrap things up. I want to thank Hunter Mackay, tight ends coach at East Carolina, for being my guest today. Great job. Great young coach. You know, I used to be younger than all the coaches. Now I'm like 3 times some of these younger coaches' ages, but I enjoyed talking to them, and Hunter Mackay did a great job. Pirates and Liberty, 6 o'clock kickoff from Williams Stadium in Lynchburg, Virginia, coming up on Saturday, and our coverage on the Bud Light pregame tailgate here on Pirate Radio kicks off at 2 o'clock, and I'll check in from Williams Stadium. That's our show for today. We'll see you back here next week on The Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
The Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Greenville Utility Company, Michelob Ultra, The Rick House, Taft and Hagler, and Tiebreakers.
Join us next week for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, right here on Pirate Radio. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
College programs that should be taking some but aren't, at least not here, not right now. No names mentioned: Florida, Florida State, and a number of others, which I might get to before I'm done. All right, so really quickly, telephone number is toll-free, 1-800-636-8686. Find me on the X platform, find me on email, but it is Monday. So, since it's Monday, you know that song, you know what that means. We are throwing out a big head bet segment for the Monday night matchup. In fact, in case you've forgotten, during football season, we have big bets on Monday, we have big head bets on Thursday, we have big head bets on Friday. So we will do all 3 during the NFL season. Tonight, Atlanta is at Philadelphia. And head, if I were you,